An end times sign. An end times sign. It's this week's Friday on Wednesday word. I'm in Second Thessalonians chapter 2. So I don't know about you, but in times past, when people talked about the end times, I would always hear them say there will be wars, there will be rumors of wars, there will be earthquakes, there will be famine. And that's found in Matthew 24. And Jesus himself let us know that those will be some signs of the end. But another sign that we have to let us know that the end times are near is found in Second Thessalonians chapter 2. So let me read to you verse 3 and 4. It says, "Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, who opposed and exalted himself above all that is called God, or that is worship, so that he, as God, sits in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God." So, Paul writes that here's another sign to let you know that the end times is near, to let you know that Jesus is on his way back. There will be someone who exalts themselves as God, someone who positions themselves as Lord, and there will be a great falling away as well. Now, Paul also wrote in verse number 9 that this man, this son of perdition, that he will work in power, and the power will be given to him by Satan, and he will show all types of signs and, excuse me, but nasally, a little sick a little bit, but I'm all right. That he will work with power and signs and lying wonders. All right. So Paul is not the only man who prophesied about this man, this son of perdition. When you go to Revelation 13, the disciple John also wrote about this son of perdition. John lets us know, Jesus gave him a vision. And one of the things John saw in that vision was a beast. He saw this beast rise up out of the sea. This is Revelation 13. John says, "And I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy." Right? Let me drop down to verse 4. He says, "And they worshiped the dragon." The dragon is Satan, by the way. "And they worshiped the dragon, which gave power to the beast. And they worshiped the beast, saying, Who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with the beast?" So you see, Satan gave power to this beast. And they have worshipped Satan, and they have also worshipped this beast. "And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies." That's what Paul just said. "And power was given unto him to continue 42 months. And he opened his mouth and blasphemy against God, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle, and them that dwell in heaven. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints." This beast is making war with saints. "And to overcome them. And power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations." All power, not all power, because all power belongs to God, but power was given to this beast, y'all, to overcome the saints. Power over all nations and tongues. Verse 8, it says, "And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, and whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the earth." What it's saying is that everyone whose name was not written in the Lamb's book of life, they all worship this beast. And they worship this beast because this beast had power. All right, this beast had power. Let me drop down and show you the type of power he had, right? Now, verse 13, this is Revelation 13, verse 13. It says, "And he does great wonders, so that he makes fire come down from heaven on earth in the sight of man. If y'all remember, the prophet Elijah made fire rain down from heaven. God, was the one, of course, that sent the fire, but Elijah was a man of God. He was working under the power of God, and fire came down from heaven. But this beast is going to be working under the power of Satan, and he also will make fire come down from heaven. Here's another thing that's just like crazy. This man, when they say he got power, this beast gonna have power. All right. And because of the power, that's why people will worship him, because it will look like he's God because of the power. Verse 15, this is Revelation 13, verse 15. It says, and he had power to give life into the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. What is that saying? Satan is going to give this beast power, right? The Bible tells us he's going to have power over all nations, over all tongues. He's going to have so much power that it will look as if he's God because of the power. I just said that he's going to have power to rain fire down from heaven, and he's also going to have the power to make an image come alive. When I say image, think of a statue. Think of someone having power to make a statue come to life and to make that statue speak. And they're telling you, you need to worship this statue. You need to worship this image of the beast. And if you do not worship it, that statue that just came alive will kill you. That's the type of power this beast will have. That's the type of power that Satan will have to give to this beast. Now, because of his power, people will worship him. Again, it looks like he's God. He's blaspheming God. He's in his temple presenting himself as he is God. He's killing all of God's people. He's mocking and blaspheming God and his people. So if you don't know any better, if you don't know that God already told you this is going to happen, he's going to look like God to you. Therefore, they worshiped him. I have 666 on the image. Let me tell you where that comes in at. So it says, now this beast, he's going to make you worship his image, right? But not only is he going to make you worship the image, he wants you to ingrain the image on you too. Verse 16 says, and he calls all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or on their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell unless he has the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of the name. Now it says, here is wisdom. Let him that understands count the number of the beast, for it is the number of man, and the number is 630 score and six. That's 666. That's where that comes from. So when we talk about this beast, you hear the number 666. That's where that comes from. Because this beast will make you worship him, and he will make you write his name or his number on your forehead or on your hand. And if you don't do it, you cannot buy food. You cannot sell food. You cannot buy services. You cannot sell services. So how are you going to survive? How would a believer survive in this time? They wouldn't. Believers would either have to choose to worship this beast or to die. What would you choose? What would you choose? He is blaspheming your God. He is in God's temple presenting himself as God. He has power to rain down fire from heaven. He has power to make this statue come to life and to speak. And if you don't worship it, it kills you. By the way, the image of the beast is like a leopard. It has many heads. You can read verse, what was that? 1. I think I read a little bit to you. Let me continue reading. It says, and the beast, which I saw likened to a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him power and his seat and great authority. So this is literally a beast. It looks like a leopard with a lot of heads and stuff. Imagine that statue coming to life and talking. And if you don't worship it, it kills you. What would you do? Do you worship this beast? Or do you say, for God I live and for God I die? And you choose death. Now, the beauty of this sounds, this is heavy. Let's be real, this is heavy. That God is going to allow the enemy to reign in power over his people for a time. It says for 42 months. If this means literal time, then that's 3.5 years. I won't profess to know that I know the exact timing if God is literal in this revelation, but let's just say 3.5 years. That this enemy has this power, has this authority over every tribe, over every tongue, and he is commanding worship. And if you do not worship him, he will kill you. Now, here's the thing. We have this prophecy already given to us. So if this happens in our time, then it shouldn't surprise us because it's already been told to us. And we should also prepare our children so that they can tell their children. So it doesn't matter when it comes, we're prepared. So when we see it, we know what we should do. We know that we should not worship it, and we know that we should choose death. Because if we look at the people who came before us, when you look at Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in Daniel 10, they was faced with this same exact temptation. The king put up a statue of himself, and they were ordered to bow down and worship that statue. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego said they will not worship the statue, and they chose death. That's why they were thrown into the fiery furnace, because they chose not to worship it. They chose death. They were tempted by the king to worship an image, and they did not. We or our descendants will be tested to worship the beast. We have the example of what to do. We know to choose death over worship. But the thing is that you're not really choosing death, because God shows us in his word that when we choose him, we choose life. So the death will only be temporary, because when you keep reading, when you go over to Revelations 19, there comes a time when that beast and Satan and the false prophet, they are cast into the lake of fire. Let me see. It says, this is Revelation 19, verse 20. It says, and the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that performed miracles before him, which he deceived them, and he received the mark of the beast and them that worship them. Right? These both were cast alive. They were cast alive into the lake of fire, burning with brimstone. So if you choose death, you're going to live, because Christ is going to come on that white horse, and he's going to rain down his wrath on all those who rose up against him, including the beast, and that includes those who decided to worship the beast. So it may seem as if you're picking death, but you're really not. You're choosing life. Those who worship the beast are the ones that's technically choosing death. So I don't really think I have much more. I just wanted to go over this because this is an end times sign. Very shortly after this beast came and after all of this worship, Jesus came or he will come on the white horse, and he's going to have the angels with him, the armies of angels with him. And victory will be for those who died in the Lord. And so I know that's challenging. If I was to be real, a lot of people will confess Christ and say they love Christ, but if they had to pick death or life, they will pick what they think is life. Because the people who will pick worship to this image will think they are picking life, but they will really be picking death. And ain't that just like Satan? To make you believe what you're picking is one thing when it's really not that. He thought, or he made Eve believe that she was picking wisdom, that she was picking something good, but she was picking something terrible. This beast will come making us think that worshiping him is the thing we ought to do because we get to live. But no, worshiping him means we get to die. And so the beauty of it is that we have this prophecy already given to us. You know, we live in a world where people love a prophetic word. They want you to speak over their lives. They want you to tell them what they see and confirm their gifting and all this stuff. Prophecy already been given to you. We need to read and take in the signs that God has given us. He has shown us what will come. So when this does come, we won't be blindsided. We will know what to choose. We will know that we have, at the end of time, we will have to choose what we're going to worship. Either you're going to worship the beast or you're going to worship the Lord. And so I won't hold you any more than what I already have. Please excuse me, I'm very nasally, but I pray that you have heard this message. I pray that we will choose correctly, that we will worship the one and true Lord, which is Jesus Christ. And John said, I just want to finish this up real quick. John said, um, in Revelations 13:9, he said, here is the patience and the faith of the saints, because this will try the saints' patience. This will test their faith. Um, Back to Paul in 2 Thessalonians 2, he tells you to stand fast, because this will be a testing and a trying when you are faced with death or when you see other people dying because they have chosen Christ. It is a testing. But you will be rewarded because Christ said it. He said, if it were not so, I would not have told you. And so we must choose wisely. And that's all I have for you today. I just wanted to bring to light that this is another end time sign. So if you see it happening, you know Christ is on the way. And it's confirmation that Christ is on the way if you do see something like this going on. So, yeah, y'all be blessed. May God bless you and keep you. May we choose wisely in who we will worship. Let us teach this to our children and pray that our children will pass it down so they will be aware and so that they may live and have life everlasting. That's all I have for you today, okay? May God bless you and keep you in Jesus' name.